So now big corporations finally take a stand. I can't believe it took this long, but I guess, I mean, sad. But, so Israel, Hamas freaking attacks Israel horribly, and it's disgusting. You know what I'm saying? There's no justification for it whatsoever. I don't care what your stance is. There's absolutely no justification. It's horrible. And they got these idiots on student campuses saying, oh, we support Hamas, and the blood's on Israel's hands. It's just, these people are evil. And they should be mocked, and they should be ridiculed. They should never get a job in mainstream corporate America, all that stuff. Well, they absolutely should not get a job in the U.S. government. They're probably well on their way to doing that. But it's like, where have you been, dude? Where's corporate America been? You supported Black Lives Matter. Do you not know who Black Lives Matter is? The Marxist destruction of the nuclear family, destroying all things white. Have you not been following the campus crusade against white people for freaking decades now? We got professor after professor after professor, student after student after student say their whole point is to destroy whiteness, and yet you didn't do anything. Now all of a sudden now you want to do it. Why don't you take a stand before that? Why, I mean, so if you got some clown who says, I'm a lawyer at New York University, I stand to support the indigenous people destroying all things white, and you're like, come on over, you're a diversity hire. What the hell is that? What do you think this guy's next step is? His next step is like, yeah, Hamas, you go get them, boys. You know what I'm saying? I mean, corporate America, I like it. I like that they're doing this. I like that these freaking corporate cretins are standing up saying, no, we don't want you here. Don't even, that's 100%. I find it funny that some, how dare you, the cancel culture, when they get canceled, like, these are just ignorant students. No, screw that stuff. Screw that stuff. Absolutely, you got to be held accountable for your words. 100%. I got no problem with that at all. There's a meme, or not a meme. There's a guy from posted this thing about libs of TikTok or something like that. They showed a post from like Washington Post in 2020. Cancel culture just means you're being held accountable for your words. You know, I got my hair on that. My wife's got to cut it. And it's funny, but now the same people from the Washington Post are like, oh, you can't cancel people. This is wrong. What happened to free speech? Cancel culture goes two ways. And I'm glad that finally people are starting to play our side. It's sad that it had to take freaking 1,300 Israelis dying for this to happen. It's just, when people start acting a fool, you treat them like a fool, and you say, don't apply here. We don't want your kind here. You see what I'm saying? Just think about it. Think about the Christchurch massacre. And if someone were to post something online and said, yeah, the Australian or the New Zealand citizens, they have blood on their hands or something like that, or what happened, no one would, you would never, ever, ever allow that guy to be hired at your company, ever. Think about the freaking one in, Norway. No one, if someone supported that guy, no one would ever say, you should, and you can't, but the Palestinians and Israelis are two different things. No, innocent people getting butchered are not, there's no justification in innocent people getting butchered. There's none. Stop it right now. It's stupid. Innocent people getting butchered is no justification whatsoever. I don't care. End of story. Stop, period. This is insanity. So think about it. Like what was that, where the gay bar was in Florida, whatever, the Pulse or something like that. And you would never let that guy get hired at your job. Ever. If there's a big thing of students' justice for anti-whatever, they said, the Pulse massacre happened because they brought it on themselves. No one would ever, you would say, no, we're not hiring you. So why is this a big deal now? Because Hamas supporters are saying, no, we're not, no, you support this, we're not welcome here. I just find it so, I'm not going to get into the deeper aspect of this because it's odd to me how it doesn't, only time it happens is now. It's so frustrating to me. I'm sitting there thinking of all the other things. This is what gets these corporate hedge fund managers, these law firms, all this. This is what gets them all riled up. But yet, for years and decades, evil has been just perpetrating from all college universities, student organizations, and you guys didn't do anything. Half these guys are probably diversity hires on your campus making big bucks. It's crazy. So like the guy from, his name's Josh Rubenstein, I think, or something like that, Rosenstein or something like that. He's the head of the University of Virginia Students for Justice for Palestine, SJP. I guarantee that guy's still going to get a job. Guarantee. Now he's a 57 Flavors guy. He's Jewish, and I guarantee, even though he's writing inflammatory, horrible comments, I guarantee he's still going to get a job someplace. Guarantee. You know what I'm saying? It's just, and yet if I were to say something halfway along those lines, or you, my friends here on YouTube, you would be kept inside the crave and never be allowed to crawl out of. It's just frustrating. Like, I don't get too frustrated because corporate America is freaking just, just, there's not, just weak sauce. But man, it would be nice if there's some guys in corporate America that guts to stand up before 1,300 innocent people got killed. Before, if we just look at the rhetoric, said, yeah, you got free speech all day long, but I don't want you here. You see what I'm saying? It'd be nice when the anti-white crap happened at the beginning, and I tell you, it started happening in the late 90s. And then, I mean, I've been following this since Jared Taylor. He probably wouldn't be welcome at George Mason. He wrote Paved with Good Intentions, and I saw him at George Mason 1992, 1993, something like that. And I've been following this anti-whiteism ever since. And that's right when I got in the Army. I saw it even when I was in the Army, actually, without question. But I saw it. I followed Samuel Harris from the Washington Times, Jared Taylor, and I said, yeah, there's anti-whiteism, and I've been seeing it get worse and worse and worse. And being a white boy, I don't like it. And I tell you what, man, it's I don't like any of that crap. I don't care if it's anti-blackism, anti-whiteism, anti-Palestinianism, anti-Israelism. I don't like any of that. You can't hold the groups accountable for the actions of a few idiots. You can't. But they voted for him. Oh my goodness! When I hear that, I'm like, well, we voted in the United States for either John Kerry or George Bush, right? We voted for Al Gore or George Bush. So we bombed the hell out of Afghanistan, Iraq. Oh, but we voted for Obama. Yeah, we bombed the hell out of Syria, Libya. Oh, I mean, it doesn't stop. So when you voted, you supported the use of terroristic activities from the U.S. That's just a fact, dude. Oh, Hillary Clinton. We saw he died about Gaddafi, and what was left over? Oh, what was left over is freaking massive refugees. What's going to be left over here? Massive refugees. And where are these massive refugees going to find? Oh, they're going to find their ways to the shores of the West, the United States in particular. And we're like, why do we, So all these right-wingers raving for war, these right-winger Ben Shapiro clowns of the world, freaking, we got to war and vaccines. Yeah, when these people where are the Palestinians going to go in Gaza? Where can they go? Well, they're going to be refugees. And guess who's wanting to take them in? The left in the United States. And the funny thing is these refugees certainly aren't 57 Flavors allied, which I think is ironic. So the right wing wants war to make these people refugees, which will end up here, and ultimately what they're going to do? They're going to do the cheap labor for Ben Shapiro. You can see it some mile away, as if it's the two sides of the same eagle, man, two wings of the same eagle. And the left gets the votes, the higher taxes, the right wing gets the cheap labor. For the Palestinians that will come here. It's such a freaking mind-boggling, it's just so obvious to me, the right corporatists of the world who are pushing vaccines, they love the war, love it. They hate the idea of refugees. Well, you're the one who created them, you freaking idiots. And then the left wing gets their votes. They get the bigger taxes. They get that whatnot. They upend society because the left hates American society, so they get to upend society. I mean, it's just Somalians. Why are there Somalians in Maine? Somalians in Minnesota? Because we freaking bombed the hell out of Somalia and they made refugees, so now they're here. What does that do to Lewiston, Maine, and where, I don't think they're in Dearborn, Michigan, but I mean, wherever they are in Michigan, that upends that society. Are a lot of Somalians kicking ass and taking names? Absolutely. It still upends our society, without question. Now we're where we are. You know what I'm saying? We got freaking, you have to have a dominant society for cohesion, and that dominant society is on the way out, which is the Eurocentric society based on private property, free speech, and all that stuff, and that's on the way. The Christian Eurocentric society is on the way out, for sure. And as such, it could have more and more chaos coming down the pike. But this is, in some ways, what the war machine wants, but they think they can manage it by giving people cheap jobs, cheap labor jobs to do the grunt work that they don't want to do. It never is managed, though. That's the problem. These idiots in the right wing, they'll never manage it. And then the idiots in the left wing, when those immigrants come to their cities, like, what do we do now? It's just so stupid. Anyway, be nice for corporate America. It's nice. Thank you, corporate America. Maybe next time try to nip in the bud before it gets out of control. All right, see you.